panel to discuss and debate Democratic strategist and former New York State Senator David Carlucci and Vice President of TAG Strategies and former Director of Press Communications for Trump's 2020 campaign, Erin Perini. Welcome to both of you.
Good evening, Mike.
Great to be here.
From Brookings, headline, are Hispanics leaving the Democratic Party? In the 2018 gubernatorial race, Governor Abbott received only 35% of the Hispanic vote. In the 2020 presidential contest, Donald Trump received 41% of this vote, up from 34% in 2016. If Abbott can improve on these results in November, Texas will likely be out of the Democrats' reach indefinitely, and Democrats will have more cause for concern about an essential building block of what they hoped would be their new majority. Erin, are Latinos moving away from the Democratic Party?
Well, yeah, not only is polling showing that, past elections have shown that as well. And in 3 of the most recent polls you've seen, even in Texas, you're seeing parity in Latino voters breaking between Abbott and Beto, and that is a pickup for Governor Abbott. We've seen that Latinos are rejecting the Democrats, and they are moving to Republicans. Mayra Flores is an example of that. If you look down in southern Florida, you see them moving as well. They are not a monolithic voting bloc, and they are one that has felt left behind by Democrats who have not wanted to talk about the economy, the border, family, and the priorities that are important to the Latino community, which is why you have seen them move more toward Republicans, not only in the presidentials, but you'll see it again in the midterms.
From that Quinnipiac poll asking Latino voters who they want for governor, it was basically neck and neck. O'Rourke 49%, Abbott 48%. David, how do you assess the relationship between Latinos and the Democratic Party?
Well, I think when we look at this and we look at the Hispanic voter in the United States, it's about 32 million eligible voters. And to put them into one classification, I think is a mistake for us that are trying to predict elections. The fact is we have people in the Hispanic voting bloc that are multi-generational, been in the United States for a long time. We have some that are brand new to the United States. We have some that are devout Catholics, some are that are devout atheists. But when you look at the Gallup poll, particularly that has historical data trends, it shows that Latino voters are strongly in the Democratic column. And I think after the Dobbs decision, we see a strengthening, if you will, a hardening of some of the single issue voters. Look, if you care about restricting abortion, then your resolve is hardened. But I think that can backfire and helps Democrats in general throughout the United States as we approach these midterms, where about 60% of Hispanic voters say they want access to abortion.
Congress has left town to campaign for the midterms with questions about Speaker Nancy Pelosi's future. Let's play it.
Do you intend to be here in the new Congress as the Speaker, as the minority leader?
I'm strictly focused on winning the next election. Do you want to talk about that? Okay, is that your question? Who's next?
Erin, as a former Hill aide, you know nobody in power wants to shift to the minority party, right?
It's very true, but Nancy Pelosi will be shifting to the minority party, and she was a little rude there to Chad, who was just asking her a question about whether or not she was going to stick around. Listen, Democrats are losing ground, and while they may have picked up a little bit of steam over the summer in the generic ballot, that's cyclical for most midterms. Democrats pick up in the summer, Republicans poor polling. You go past Labor Day, the ground starts to harden for Republicans. And right now, wrong track and Biden's disapproval continue to say that Nancy Pelosi is walking into a lame duck speakership and the country will finally have a speaker. Fingers crossed, it's my old boss, Kevin McCarthy.
David, Speaker Pelosi is 82. If Democrats lose the House, do you expect she'll retire or perhaps take a plum ambassador's post?
Well, I think Nancy Pelosi is a fighter. She's been on the ropes before. Democrats are picking up momentum heading into the general election. And look, everyone is pointing the finger saying it's going to be a Republican wave. Now we're saying maybe a Republican ripple. But I think Nancy Pelosi, it depends on how she does in the midterms. But I think she's well respected by the majority of Democrats. And there's a place for her in Congress regardless of the outcome of this general election, the midterms. But I think the Democrats have a great opportunity to hold on to control, and Nancy Pelosi will be responsible for that.
David, Erin, thanks so much. Have a beautiful weekend.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.